President Trump says people in Iran are hungry for food and freedom. He supports protesters who for 6 days have criticized Iran's government. White House correspondent Mark Irons reports. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Jason. The president returns from his Christmas break in Florida, and he's jumping right into international affairs. The White House says Iranians deserve the right to express themselves peacefully. Still, hundreds of protesters have been arrested, and some could even face the death penalty. 21 deaths reported in the public clashes between protesters and Iranian security forces. It started almost a week ago as food prices in Iran jumped as much as 40%. Now President Trump is raising his voice, tweeting, "The people of Iran are finally acting against the brutal and corrupt Iranian regime. All of the money that President Obama so foolishly gave them went into terrorism and into their pockets. The people have little food, big inflation, and no human rights. The U.S. is watching." The White House press secretary says the Iranian people deserve to be heard.
The Iranian people are angry at the rising tide of corruption in their daily lives. The people are tired of paying the price for their violent and corrupt rulers.
Demonstrations began last Thursday and spread across the country. Iran's 2015 nuclear deal that lifted international sanctions was supposed to help Iran's economy, but the people reportedly aren't seeing the results. Some of the protesters have now been threatened with the death penalty.
And so what you see today is a smoldering ash catching fire.
Majid Sajpour works in Washington, D.C., advocating for the rights of the Iranian people.
So the international community, all it needs to do is stand by its moral principles. What's right is standing for human rights, for women's rights, for religious rights. Those fundamental beliefs is at the core of this country.
Iran's president pushes back, saying President Trump is no friend to his people. He blames Trump for constantly creating problems for Iranians, including when they try to obtain U.S. visas, referring to President Trump's travel ban. Jason?
Mark, besides the tweets and speaking out, what else is the United States doing to support the protesters?
The Trump administration has called for the United Nations Security Council and Human Rights Council to hold emergency meetings on Iran. UN Ambassador Nikki Haley says nowhere is the urgency of peace, security, and freedom being tested more than in Iran. Jason.
Okay, thank you very much, Mark Irons at the White House tonight.